Welcome back to a Timey-Wimey pod, where each week we dive into the timey-wimey world of Doctor Who. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Haley.
And this week we are discussing Series 6, Episode 7, A Good Man Goes to War. Haley, how are you?
You know, it's your classic Monday. I've been counting down all day to talk about this episode because it's about to get real, everyone. It's about to get really real.
Haley is actually forcing me to record after I came straight from a work event.
Don't even.
No, I'm happy to be here, but it is true. But yeah, episodes like this is why we started the podcast, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. We have said so many times, like, oh my gosh, like, wait until we get to A Good Man Goes to War. Like, oh my gosh, that's going to go crazy. And now that we're finally here, it feels very surreal, just like every other big episode like this. And this is right where, like, from here on out in Doctor Who, specifically the rest of the 11th Doctor's era, I feel like there's a lot of things we're going to learn about each other and like our opinions and thoughts, because I feel like we know each other's mindsets very well up to this point. And then after this, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I know some things, but not everything.
Yeah, there's going to be so much to talk about. Do we want to do fantastic facts or general thoughts first?
Fantastic facts, because general thoughts will just, I'm going to yap right into the episode.
Okay, sounds good. This episode aired June 4th, 2011. It was written by Stephen Moffat and directed by Peter Hora. Does that name sound familiar to you?
It does sound familiar to me.
Practically exactly a year ago, we were talking about him because he directed The Robot Revolution and Lucky Day.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's why that name is fresh. I'm like, that's a fresh name. I feel like I've heard that name.
Yeah.
Somewhat brief. First off, how the heck has it been a year?
Insane. Actually insane.
Diabolical. Like, I can't believe, guys, like, it's about to be a year since the reality war. That took me out the other day. I literally almost had a breakdown over that fact. I'm not even kidding.
No, so valid. But it's crazy to me that he's only done these 3 episodes: A Good Man Goes to War, The Robot Revolution, and Lucky Day.
And you know what? I liked his direction in all of those episodes.
I mean, not bad. It's just crazy to think about, like, the
it is.
he did, but you know, hey, he has good episodes.
Yes, he does.
Okay, the original title for this episode was Demon's Run. And also under consideration was His Darkest Hour and An Angel Goes to War.
Okay, Angel Goes to War, not feeling it.
No.
Demon's Run, I could understand that being the alternate title for sure. In His Darkest Hour, you said? I kind of like that.
Hour. Yeah, me too.
But I love the title of Good Man Goes to War.
I love A Good Man Goes to War. It's so good.
Dare I say it's one of the best Doctor Who episode titles?
Oh, I agree. I completely agree. And I don't know, it just pulls you in and it fits the episode really well.
Yeah.
Ood Sigma was going to have an appearance in this episode.
I didn't know that. I knew about the other person, but I didn't know about Ood Sigma.
Mm-hmm. His appearance was edited out, and he would have.
So they actually filmed it or edited out of the script?
Okay, unclear. But edited out to me sounds like they filmed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel betrayed.
I know, me too. He would have been fighting for the Doctor, of course, and he would have been singing a melody that would have forced the monks into prayer.
Oh my gosh, that would have been so good.
Right. And then this next fantastic fact is one of those facts that's like, it's one of the reasons we have this segment, so we can talk about these little like what if scenarios. Mm-hmm. And that is the fact that Jack Harkness was going to be in this episode but he wasn't because John Barrowman was filming Torchwood.
This to me is honestly, personally, one of the biggest losses for me personally, because I know he would have taken the place of Dorian in this episode, which, by the way, if I say Dorian at any point, ignore me. I always think this man's name is Dorian. Apparently it's Dorian.
I just realized it was Dorian from reading the subtitles, watching the episode last night.
I literally forget every time I watch the show. Anyways, but just like the thought of Jack being in his place, the thought, oh my gosh, I can just visualize it so well. And I know within the Whovian community, the consensus that everyone has agreed upon is that, like, this is how the face of Bo came to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just feels like he should be here. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like the perfect place for Jack Harkness to show up.
He would be here. He would be involved in this, like, legion of space.
And we were so robbed of seeing him interact with the Pawns and the 11th Doctor. Like, out of any TARDIS games, he would have been so good with the Pawns, so good with the 11th Doctor. We were robbed.
We were, and his anger and 11's anger combined. Ooh.
Yeah. It's crazy that, like, he was just filming Torchwood. Like, we couldn't move things around.
Exactly. We couldn't just, like, hit pause one day.
Yeah. Now, mind you, like, I'm not really begging to see John Barrowman these days, but back then, it would have been nice.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, Haley, what are your general thoughts on A Good Man Goes to War?
My general thoughts on this episode are that it's absolute peak Who. It is cinema. This is a movie experience for me. Every time I watch this episode, I feel like I'm watching a movie. And I mentioned this to Rebecca off mic last night. I'm like, every time I watch this episode, I always think it's longer than it actually is.
No, it does. They do a good job with the time that they have, because it really does feel like a longer story, a longer episode. I love this episode. It is a banger to me. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, show us the Doctor at his peak, at his height of glory, and then his darkest moments. And the river song of it all, we'll have a lot to talk about, but cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How should we even start this one?
Well, okay. This monologue, I will say, the monologue at the beginning of the episode from Amy does kind of annoy me, because it's, like, misleading, and it's like, you think she's talking about the Doctor, and then it's like, that man is your father, and you're like, what? And then it's like, Rory, and it's like, oh. And I don't know. The monologue always annoys me, because it's like they're always trying to do this Amy, Rory, Doctor love triangle thing. And it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, I don't fully disagree with you on that. I really wish there was less of that element, especially since we're in series 6. Amy's had a baby. It's been a long time since Amy's choice. Like, why are we still on this thing about, like, misleading people? So that is a little bit annoying, but I do like what she says to baby Melody. Like, it's so tragic and heartbreaking, but I mean, she tells her, I wish I could tell you that you'll be loved and safe, cared for and protected, but this isn't a time for lies. What you are going to be, Melody, is very, very brave, but not as brave as they'll have to be, because there's someone coming. I don't know where he is or what he's doing, but trust me, he's on his way. There's a man who's never going to let us down, and not even an army can get in the way. And I just love how she tells baby Melody that she just has that faith in Rory, the man who waited 2,000 years for her, that he'll come through.
I do like that aspect. I like everything that she's saying. I just don't like the way that the episode frames it. Yeah. And the way it sets it up. But I do like her. First off, I love seeing Amy as a mom. I don't know why. I think it's really sweet. Seeing her with her baby. And yeah, telling her about Rory, I do think it's all very sweet. And I hate the moment when they take her away. Like that is so, oh, it's so painful.
Should we set a timer of how long it's going to take us into like starting our Amy Pond crash out? Because I feel like it's a little too early in this episode to go there.
It's a little too. I'll have a lot to say about Amy later. I'm holding back.
I am really holding back as well. What are your thoughts on the cybership moment?
Okay, why do people always hate on this moment and like
they do
paint it as like, yes, I always see people painting this as like a horrible moment, like the doctor killed all those Cybermen. Okay,
and
like, do we care? Also, like Loki isn't killing Cybermen like kind of ethical because
no, it is. It fully is.
Thank you. Because they're people that were forced to become like soulless robots. You're kind of putting them out of their misery.
Exactly. And you're like preventing the downfall of other people turning into Cybermen.
Exactly. But I love, oh my gosh, you guys. Arthur Darvill is so hot in this episode. I just have to say it. He is. And him being like, I have a message and a question from me and a message from the doctor. And then it's just, where's my wife? And then all the ships blow up and he's like, would you like me to repeat the question? So good.
Nothing I love more than a man on a mission for his wife.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about how the doctor made him get up in the Roman gear? Like, what was that?
I don't know, but I'm glad we got it.
Me too. It's very camp. It's perfect.
It is. And yeah, just the Cybermen just standing there being like, what are you talking about? And then the cyber ships just explode. And he's like, do I need to repeat the question? That whole sequence of events is legendary. Yeah, I don't know why people hate on this scene because I could care less that Cybermen are killed. Exactly. There, I said it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then we get to see the Anglican Marines, and they're talking about the Atraxi. There's a lot of references in this episode.
Yeah, there is. I didn't write them all down because there's only so much space in my notebook.
There's only so much. But they were talking about the Atraxi in the 11th hour.
Yeah, they were. What else were they talking about? They mentioned...
I think I have things noted down later on in my notes.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's a whole base, a whole army prepping to fight the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Really interesting concept. Just this whole group, this whole, religious sect, essentially, all with the mission to defeat the doctor over this war. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, I find this concept just so fascinating, and we'll definitely dive more into it, especially like once River pops up at the end of this episode. But we're kind of going in the past and in the future with the doctor. He's assembling his own army.
I love the sequence of the TARDIS just showing up, and we don't even see the doctor for quite a while in this episode, but we just see the TARDIS showing up at all these places, assembling a team. The way it's shot, the way we see the TARDIS, it's almost like haunting. It's like a dead crow on your doorstep. I don't know, it's so fascinating. And we meet Vastra and Jenny.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy we get them. This is their first official appearance. We will see them again in the future. I love the TARDIS just sitting in the drawing room and just the door opening. And I think it's this scene where you just see the shadow of the 11th Doctor in the drawing room, unless I'm confusing that when he picks up Dorium.
Yeah, that's when he gets Dorium.
Okay, my bad. But yeah, like you said, it is absolutely haunting. And you mentioned like it is a while before we see 11. I didn't write it down, but I do remember looking at the time, and I want to say we were like, it was like 16 or 17 minutes into the episode until
Yeah.
he first appeared.
It was quite a while. But yeah, I love seeing Vastra and Jenny. I love that
Mhm.
Vastra killed and ate Jack the Ripper.
I totally forgot about this, and I think it's hilarious. We have the explanation on why he stopped killing guys. We now know.
Yeah, now we know. And then we get Strax.
Okay, Strax is one of my favorite side characters of the entire show.
He's so funny.
He's so funny. I love that. However, I love how he words how he was basically forced to be a nurse. I forget exactly why, but essentially, like reading between the lines, the doctor basically forced him into being a nurse. And every time he goes, like treat someone, he's like, "I hope to meet you someday in the glory of battle, for the glory of the Sontaran Empire." Get
And
some
I will
rest.
destroy you for the glory of the Sontaran Empire. No, it's so funny when he says that to the kid, and the kid just says, "Thanks, nurse."
And then he's just going on with the one guy, and he hears the TARDIS, and he's like, oh my gosh, is my penance over? Like the way he reacts to that is just so funny. And again, he's like, I hope to meet you someday in the glory of battle, where I shall crush the life from your worthless human form. Try and get some rest.
It's so good. I love it. We were robbed of the Vastra Jenny Strax spinoff show.
They should have had it. I don't know if there's a big finish audio. I wouldn't be surprised, but like we need this is the spin-off we deserved and needed.
This is what the people wanted, and we didn't get it.
We didn't get it, and it's actually really upsetting. I really mourn the stories we never get with these three.
Me too. And then the next stop is good old, oh my god, what's it called? The prison. Storm Cage. It's good old Storm Cage. I love the scene. We see River coming home at the end of a date. She's breaking back into her cell because she runs this prison.
She does. She does.
Yeah. She's like, I'll have breakfast at the usual time. Thank you very much. And then who comes in but Rory Williams himself?
He does. And it's very like, the tension is there. And
it's a very different tone than what we've seen in previous episodes with River and Amy and Rory.
Thank you. That's the word I was searching for. Definitely like a much darker tone. But I just love how she's like dancing and singing to herself. And as she spots Rory, she just gets so excited to tell him that it's her birthday. And the doctor took her and Stevie Wonder to Victorian London. But shush, like don't tell Stevie Wonder. He doesn't know that he's saying in Victorian London. I love that, like that she's so excited to tell him and so excited to share that it's her birthday. But as soon as he mentions that, you know, the doctor needs her, Rory needs her, she has the realization that this is the day the doctor finds out who she is, and she tells him, this is the battle of Demon's Run, the doctor's darkest hour, where he will rise higher than ever before and then fall so much further. I can't be with him till the very end.
And I think the way she says it is so interesting because I think it almost like pains her that she can't be there for such a hard moment for the doctor, for her family. Spoilers, but
guys, if you're listening, spoilers everywhere.
I mean, hopefully you've watched the episode.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's just really painful for her that she can't be there for the doctor's like worst moment until it's all pretty much over. There's one, I forget like what sets it up, but Rory says something about there being like two doctors, and River says, now that's a whole different kind of birthday. And That for some reason was like a vocal stim of mine for a while. I just said that all the time, mostly to myself. Now that's a whole different kind of birthday.
Well, I would
I
hope
don't
it
know.
was only to yourself. It would be very weird if you're like, "Hi, my name's Rebecca. So nice to meet you." And then you say that.
No, that's a whole different kind of birthday. I don't even know like what I was saying it to, but just the way she says that line, I don't know. It's so funny. But this is one of very few River and Maury moments, and definitely the first moment where you start to think, like watching it back, it's very clear what's happening here. And I think the first time you're watching it, you're maybe getting some inclination. There's something is amiss, something is different. The vibes have shifted.
Definitely. And yeah, looking back, you kind of know that she's just excited to tell her dad about her birthday because she never got that.
No, it's so sad.
And then the doctor goes to collect Dorium, which I find it so fascinating. And I like the scene where Madame Covarian herself and the Colonel come to Dorium to basically be like, what do you know? And he kind of gives them like, you guys really think he's not assembling an army? I find that like whole give and take information back and forth really fascinating to watch. It's also fascinating to me that he's like closing up shop, trying to flee. I think it's because he's trying to flee before the doctor catches him to collect
Yeah,
on his debt.
he did not want the doctor to show up. He is me anytime anyone asks me to do anything. Like, no, you don't need me. I'm old, I'm fat, I'm blue, like you can't need me. It's so funny. Um yeah, no, I love seeing him just like assemble this team. And yeah, Dorian nailed it. Like he knew like a lot of people are finding blue boxes at their doorstep right now.
Yeah, it's so funny to me how he just is like, no, no, please, no. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually hilarious. But like, I can also picture Jack saying the same thing, not because he doesn't want to go with the doctor, but because he's like, boy, it's been a whole regeneration and you haven't called me up. You have beef with me. Like, what is this about?
And it's always going to end bad for Jack. Like he's going to be turned immortal, he's going to be left behind, he's going to be
Right?
left with like a year of trauma from being imprisoned.
He's gonna
Something's
die 5 times.
like it's yeah. I do. Oh man, I wonder how Jack would have entered this episode. What that would have
Mm,
like, what the interactions with everyone would have been like.
me too. Okay, so poor Amy. So, well, we find out it's been a month. It's been a month. And
Mm.
poor Amy is so sad and she's without Melody and she's waiting to be rescued. And as she's staring out the window, watching the whole base, Lorna comes in and gives her the prayer leaf. Rebecca, you told me, I don't know how long ago this was. I was trying to find the original text and couldn't find it. So I don't know if you told me on FaceTime at some point. You have beef with Lorna?
I
Why?
do. She
What
annoys
is your
me.
beef?
She annoys me. Okay, like okay. First off, I think I have to explain that the first maybe few times I watched this episode, I thought she was meant to be. And now, mind you, you have to remember, I watched this like as a young teen, so I was dumb. I thought she was supposed to be like a younger version of River.
Okay, I did think that too. I'm not gonna
Okay,
lie.
thank you. So it's like I don't know. You're watching it with that lens, you're like waiting for some kind of like reveal or something to click, something to make sense. And then now just watching it, I don't know. It's like we spend so much time on this woman and it's still like, are you supposed to be some like are we I feel like we're supposed to know you, have some kind of connection with you. And I do think it's interesting to see the impact that the doctor makes on like a random person's life just through one of his quick adventures. And it is interesting to compare and contrast her with Amy, seeing how they both met the doctor when they were young girls and how that impacted them both in different ways. But we just spend too much time on this girl and I just don't care. And I'm like, you're weird for being here in this army. I just don't really care to be with you. I'm sorry. But I know you like weirdly like her, so tell me why.
I've always really liked her. I mean, she mentions like she grew up in the Gamma Forest. Keep note of that for later. She grew up in the forest.
Yes.
And literally like nothing happened until the doctor was there, and then they ran, and like that was the highlight of her life. And I mean, we have all of these episodes of the doctor meeting these people, and like they're like a one-off character. We only get them in that episode, and we see how the doctor affects their life in the moment, but we don't always see that like afterwards, especially as a young girl. Like with Amy, like he came back for her. There was like that whole thing, all of series 5, all of that growth, but he never came back for Lorna. And so she was still that little girl wanting that unique interaction with the doctor that only he brings. And while I don't support her going into the Anglican Marines who want to fight the doctor to meet the doctor, like I find that I do have a problem with, because I'm like, girl, your logic is flawed. Your logic is messed up. But I do like her character and the way we see the doctor affect her and the way he's come across to the Anglican Marines over time. Like this episode is very much showing what can happen after years and years and years and years of the doctor being the doctor.
No, and I do really like that aspect of the episode. And I know I'm being a little too harsh on it. I don't know. It's like every time I watch this and I see her, it brings me back to like watching it the first time and thinking like, okay, who is she? Who is she supposed to be? And that's on me. Like, honestly, that's on me. So it just annoys me because I'm like, why are we spending so much time? Like, why is there so much emphasis on you? But I do like seeing the impact that the doctor has had on her life, and that showing where the doctor is now, how big he's gotten. I think is really interesting. But I love when she's talking to Amy and Amy asks, can I borrow your gun? Because I have a feeling you're going to keep talking. So funny.
Yeah, that is really funny. And she was valid for that because I'm sorry you took her baby away.
Yeah.
She does not need to be nice to anyone.
No. Amy can be mean to anyone forever, and I would support her.
Same. Okay. The Headless Monks. They are so freaky and creepy and ugh. But do you know who isn't creepy? The doctor cosplaying as a headless monk.
I love that reveal. It's so good.
It's so good. And you just know he's going to pop up, like, as they're unveiling, like, the hoods. You just know he's about to pop up, but it still is so good when he does. I love how the camera pans, like, shifts and, like, pans to him, and everyone is just like, oh, what? He snuck onto the base, and he just says 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
I think he says like 4 minutes and something seconds, but I could be wrong.
Something. And then Vastra and Jenny take care of the lights. I love like seeing everyone band together. Tell me why I completely forgot a whole bunch of Silurians and Jadoon.
Me too. I completely forgot that as well. I was like, oh, all the Silurians are here. But I love that. And I love the line, Amelia Pond, get your coat.
Yeah, there's so much hope in the air.
And he really gets the Anglican Marines and the monks to start turning against each other.
Yeah, that was a brilliant plan, actually, especially because headless monks get really peeved if people shoot at them or lift their hood or something. I don't know. They're weird.
I have to say, I really like the look of the headless monks. Like when you take off the hood, I think that is so interesting.
No, I find the concept so interesting. Like they both creep me out and I love them at the same time because it's like the perfect Doctor Who camp element.
Yeah. This episode has a slightly odd collection of side characters. For example, we get Danny Boy.
Every time this clip plays, I essentially do a spit take, even though I know it's coming.
Why is he here? How did he get here? What plane is he flying? How does he know how to fly that plane if it's not a World War II era plane? If it is a World War II era plane, how did it get here? How is it firing? Why is Danny Boy here? Why should we care about Danny Boy? We never even actually meet Danny Boy.
I think this really all links back to our original discussion and questions in our Victory of the Daleks episode when we were wondering how the heck he's flying the plane up high, like to the Dalek ship. Like, how are you getting up there and not dying? Like, this is deep space. This isn't like you're just parked outside the Earth. No, this is like a whole legion or something of space or something or other that the Cybermen keep track of. How are you living?
And does he get back home? Like, we never see him again.
Did the doctor
just in his plane?
Did the doctor just like pick him up in the TARDIS? It was like, here, fly into the TARDIS.
But how? How did it fit through the doors? Does he get home? I have a lot of questions.
I do too. Why did he have to be in here? Also, another thing, okay? We left Curse of the Black Spot with the kid having to be on life support to live.
Yes!
And he's alive without life support, taking over Demon's Run, but then we don't see the rest of the crew.
No, we don't. And they don't come help us out with anything else.
No. We don't even see them and like where all the cameras are and whatnot, and like where they're scanning her DNA where the colonel was. You would think a captain would be there.
No, they really just filmed that like during a Curse of the Black Spot and threw it in here for whatever reason.
I think they just wanted to include them, but like, I'm trying to think. Like, what are better side characters to include?
I was just going to ask you that. Like, what's a side character from the 11th Doctor era that you think should have been here helping us take down these people?
Richard Nixon. I'm just kidding.
Okay, but on that note, like
Canton
would be cool. Like, Canton,
it's Canton.
I thank you. Why did I say Cantwell? I don't know. But I miss that man. Like, he should have been here. That would have been interesting. It would have been a full circle because the baby.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, other side characters. You know what? Get Liz 10 in here.
Oh my gosh. Liz 10 would pull up in half a second to support the doctor.
Exactly.
I was going to be like Vincent, but Vincent wouldn't
what is
really
Vincent
do anything.
Do here? Vincent
painting
should not be here.
No, he's painting a portrait of Melody as a baby.
Oh, that's sweet.
Wait. I don't know, but better side characters than Danny Boy.
Danny Boy, like, and the pirates, okay? It's just so funny because, like, the last Avengers Assemble episode we got in the show was Stolen Earth Journey's End, where we got all our fave companions, all their family members, and here we get Danny Boy and the pirates.
And why did 11 have to do the plane motion as Danny Boy was flying? You know how he's like, does the airplane arms? I was like, boo, boo, boo. I'm like, calm down.
Because he's a child. That's what he does. That doesn't surprise me.
Fair enough.
At all. I love his whole speech to Colonel Runaway.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite speeches from this episode. It is actually insane and incredible.
Like telling him, I want children to stand outside your house and laugh and say, that's Colonel Runaway. And then he does it. He actually does get everyone to like run away and put down their weapons. And for a moment there, they win this whole thing. And it is fascinating.
It is. I love how at the tail end of that whole spiel to Colonel Runaway that 11 is saying, he says, and when people come to you and ask if trying to get to me through the people I love is in any way a good idea, I want you to tell them your name. And I find it interesting that he says, look, I'm angry. That's new because it's not new.
I know. I was like,
at all.
Not new at all. Like, Time Lord victorious. Like,
Yeah.
you literally pushed Amy against a wall in the last episode.
No, you're
Nothing
right.
about this is new.
No, nothing at all. So I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there, but he is angry. He is angry to a level we haven't seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think specifically, like, going after Amy in this way, and we see it throughout the episode and more later on, but realizing that this was all because of him, I think that really kills him. Like, that breaks something inside for him. And knowing that they went after Amy and they took her baby because of him. Oh, it's horrible.
It's horrifying. And when Madame Kovarian comes and steps behind him and tells him the anger of a good man is not a problem, good men have too many rules, he just responds by saying, good men don't need rules, and today is not the day to find out why I have so many. Put that in the Louvre.
Mm-hmm. That lives in my mind rent free. I don't know what it is, but something about that line, it's like, oh,
ooh, yeah. No, forever imprinted on my mind. Because, oh my gosh, today is not the day to find out why I have so many. Oh, it's so good. You just see, like, you see the doctor in that moment. Not 11, the doctor. And it's just incredible. And, like, this is a side tangent we don't have to get too much into, but a good man goes to war. In my mind, I'm always like, they're not talking about 11. They're talking about Rory because he is the good man.
Whoa. You just blew my mind.
Wait, I'm surprised. Dang, I would have thought you would have thought of that before me.
No, but that's so interesting. I have a lot to say about that and Worry at the end, but wow, mind blown.
And then we get to one of my favorite scenes. Amy just hears something at the door in the room she's in, and she's like, I'm armed and I'm very crossed. And Rory says, yeah, like I don't know that. And then Amy says, they took our baby away. Which, first off, that line, the way she says it.
Oh, heartbreaking. And then he comes in and says, now, Mrs. Williams, that is never, ever going to happen. Him coming in with that baby, again, it's something,
Beautiful
something
sight.
about it. Something about it.
Something about it. And their reunion, and Rory saying, dang it, I was going to be cool. And he's crying. Like, it's the most Rory Williams thing ever.
It is. You know what I think about constantly, like all the time?
I think I know, but tell me. Let me know.
It's the fact that Rory never got to hold his daughter. Because at this point, Melody is already the flesh baby. He never got to hold his baby girl.
So thanks for listening to our podcast episode. This is where I start to shut down because it's so painful to think about.
Yeah, like that, just like the three of them. Obviously, they are together later, but they were never together.
Like, actually together. He never held his real daughter.
It's actually so heartbreaking and so sad, and it just breaks my heart. And like, even though we learn more stuff about them later, just the fact that they never really got their chance to really be a family and to really be together, it's heartbreaking.
No, it's so heartbreaking. And when he introduces baby Melody to the doctor and says, my daughter, what do you think? Do you know what I also think about in this scene? The doctor pointing to baby Melody because he points and laughs at archaeologists.
Yes, I love that. I love when he first comes in and he's like, oh, I'm gonna leave, and then Warrior's just like, hey, get in here. Like, that's so sweet.
It's so sweet.
I also love them talking about Melody's name, like Melody
Yeah.
Williams is a geography teacher. Melody Pond is a superhero.
Hero. And yes, it is.
And she was right. She was right.
So right. And I always find it hilarious that 11 speaks baby in the show. I just think it's funny. Or like when he speaks
I
horse, just random things like that.
I love the doctor speaking baby. It's so fun.
And Vastra, she says to 11, my friend, you have never risen higher. And
she also says that, they took over without any blood spilled, but people did die, so she's kind of wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that as well. But when she says that, like, I don't know if it's intentional, but to me, like, from my perspective, like, Rory hears that. And I see it in his face when I watch this episode. He is remembering what River told him back in Storm Cage.
Now, the episode doesn't need it, but I would have loved to see the scene in the TARDIS when Rory goes back to the doctor after talking to River and having to be like, yeah, she said no, she's not coming. And like, what else did Rory tell him? If he told the doctor what she said, again, not that we need it, but I would have loved to see that scene.
Yeah, and I'm so interested, like, to see, did the doctor go back out there to yell at River?
I don't think so, because I think he yells at her later, but I just...
Yeah, I think he probably just angrily, like, flew away in the TARDIS.
Yeah,
he was like...
I think he was just sulking and was like flying away.
Yeah, I can picture it. And the doctor is like in, we'll say the control room. That's where he's at. While everyone else is kind of waiting to go back because 11's like, I still got to figure out why they wanted you and why they wanted baby Melody and all of that. And Amy finds out that Melody does not like the TARDIS noise, which is a thread that is continued with older River. She doesn't like the loud TARDIS noise either. Remember, she like turns it off.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She turns off the brake sound.
That's right.
Something. Yeah. And then the doctor brings out a cot.
This cot, y'all. Thank you, Amy, for actually asking him if he has children or had children. I would like to know that answer too.
Wouldn't we all? But yeah, I love that moment. You know me. Any mention of the doctor being a father just like rips my heart apart. I love it so much. I love that he avoids the question. And then later when they're just like, just tell us something, like anything, it's our daughter. And then he says that the cot is his.
Yeah.
That is so... I can't even think about it. It's so sweet. And we also get some more information about Amy and the time she was flesh. So the whole time she was on the TARDIS, she thought she was on the TARDIS. And the doctor says that they took her a long time ago, and he says that they must have taken her just before America.
And you know what? I think the doctor has been proven wrong multiple times in this episode. So I still kind of stand by that it was like in between Impossible Astronaut, Day of the Moon, or in the room with the silence on the ceiling in the creepy orphanage.
Yes. They should have just made... I don't know why. Like, she literally gets kidnapped in that episode. Like, that would have been the perfect moment to be like, and then she became flesh. Or not she became flesh, but that's when they swapped her out for flesh. Like, why didn't they just go with that? But you know what? I think even the way they wrote it here, it's still open-ended. So you could still think basically whatever you want. But it is interesting to think about the fact that, yeah, she was possibly flesh this whole time.
Yeah. And Vastra clocks 11 by saying, anger is always the shortest distance to a mistake. And that he was the one to tell her that when she was wanting to avenge her sister's with tunnel diggers, something to do with the tunnel.
Yeah, something with her sister and the London Underground and tunnel diggers.
Yeah, and 11 is like, we beat them, basically. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, this is before the penny drops, before the trap is revealed.
Yeah. We find out Melody has human plus Time Lord DNA.
Yes, she sure does. Okay. I love that Vastra says to 11 that only you would discount the intuition of a mother when she was worried that the baby would have a time head or something. Yeah. You should have taken her seriously.
Listen to a mother's intuition. Listen to a woman's intuition. Like, you laughed at Amy when she said time head, and look, she was right.
She was correct, yeah. And I do find it always hilarious when Vastra brings up to 11, like, so when was she conceived, basically?
When did she begin? I love the way Matt Smith performs this, the physical comedy of it all, him getting all nervous and embarrassed, straightening his bow tie, and he's like, well, it's not like they announced it, it's not like they put a balloon up or anything. And I also love how he like insists that they just would have had no time to let's say make a baby. Like, this is a young newlywed couple, they will find a way.
Yeah, especially on their wedding night. Like, come on.
I mean, Amy and Rory, look at them. Like,
yeah.
Enough
said.
But I love how he's like so insistent on it. He's like, it's all running around and sexy fish vampires. Oh, that's another reference.
Oh yeah, that is. And then like,
he says,
oh, go ahead.
He says, Rory wasn't even there in the beginning. He was dead. Then he was, then he didn't exist. Then he was plastic. Then I had to reboot the whole universe. Long story.
I love that. I love that that's included. So like, it's clarified. Like, Amy hasn't been flesh since we first saw her, because I've seen some people have that theory. That's a little too much, even for Moffat.
Yeah, didn't we read a review or something a few episodes ago where someone was like, she was flesh since series 5?
Is either a review or it might have honestly been a TikTok comment on one of our TikToks.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No offense to that TikTok commenter.
Yeah.
Commenting.
Yeah, no tea, no shade. It's very obvious. It's since the wedding night, which like I meant to do this and I forgot to, because I can't remember what's their wedding date, because I was going to do like 9 months from that, so like we would know like her actual birthday.
It's April something. Is it April 26th?
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to know. Like, she was born on a base. Who knows if she was overdue or premature, but like we would know like the estimate.
That's smart. Well, we'll have to do that math at some point. And then Vastra's talking about how they could use a Time Lord as a weapon, and the doctor's like, well, why would they want to do that? And then she says, well, they've seen you. Oh, gut punch to the doctor.
Yeah. And right around this time, Lorna catches up to Amy and Rory and everyone else to warn them that it was a trap, because she overheard Madame Cavarian say so. And then stupid Madame Cavarian just pops up on the screen behind 11 and says, Melody is hope in this endless, bitter war. Girl, shut up and go home.
And also, how did she get away? How did she escape?
Who dropped the ball? Who was it? Silurians? Jadoons? You know what? It was probably the pirates and Danny Boy.
It was definitely the pirates.
Yeah. Definitely the pirates that didn't secure the scene.
Yeah. They really brush over that, too.
Yeah, now that you're saying that, they do. There's multiple things that are brushed over. But, yeah. A lot of it will be in next week's episode. And then everything hits the fan. And Amy tells Rory, like, no offense to everyone else, but make sure the others die first. And he responds saying, you're so Scottish. And then
I
he gives them both a kiss on the head and goes off, and that's the last time they have any variation of their like newborn. I'm gonna crash out. The crash out is coming. It's coming.
Oh, it's so yeah. But I love that line from Amy. I think it's so she has so many really funny lines in this
Yeah,
episode.
she does. Rip Dorian as he was.
All right.
Rest
Seeing
in
him without a head, don't like it.
I hate it actually.
Yeah.
Also, rest in peace to that random Marine who went by. I hate that he
Oh
goes
my
by the fat
gosh.
one.
Okay, yeah. We really pause. We need to go back because that joke is so insane. It's the most 2011 joke of all time. And it's
Yeah.
also like, do we really need names? Yeah.
Yeah.
You do need names. What? It's like, why are we defining these people by like their basic info, what they do, who they are,
Exactly.
and their body image? Like that's so weird.
I
It's
agree.
yeah. Yeah. See, Stephen
Very
Moffat,
weird.
those are why people don't like you. And then we have
Yeah.
to come here and defend you. And it's like,
It's
I'm
like we
not, I
can't
don't
really
want to
defend
defend this.
that.
No, no.
No showrunner is perfect, and this is a symptom of that. Yeah, he basically gets chosen to
Mm-hmm.
become a headless monk. He doesn't choose. It's chosen for him, which is diabolical.
I love when they're like walking him away and he asks if they have Lent because he's not good at giving things up.
That is funny. Yeah, so rest in peace to him as he was. And okay, I know we're going to want to talk about this, Rebecca, but we got to skip past this because there's a lot of other things to get into. But rest in peace, Strax, this version of Strax. We will see this man again, but rest in
He's
peace,
fine.
King.
We'll see him again. I'll have more to say about that later, but yeah.
Okay. Well, because I was going to get into it. I was going to get into the meat and bones, or should I say, the most horrific scene I think of the entire show, which is when Covarian says "wakey wakey."
Well, first we hear her say, tell the doctor, what does she say? Fooling you twice. Oh,
Oh,
she says something about like fooling you once, blah, 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 fooling you twice in the same way is a pleasure. And then it just clicks. Oh my gosh, baby Melody. And then, yes, when we see baby Melody looking at Madame Cavarian, it is so horrifying and heartbreaking. And then, truly, one of the darkest, most horrifying moments is when she just melts essentially
mm-hmm.
in Amy's arms, and Amy is just left clutching the blanket, clutching her clothes. It is, and her scream for Rory. We brush over Amy Pond's trauma way too quickly. I don't think the show does a good enough job about really
Mm-mm.
taking its time to examine how this impacts Amy. Her whole being kidnapped, being, kept here for 9 months at least, her baby being stolen from her, turned into a psychopath. Like, we do not examine that trauma enough. And I think it's a very major flaw of this season. And
Mm-hmm.
even like parts of the next season, like, they did not take their time to really examine this, and that always disappoints me because in 2 episodes from now we're just on a regular Doctor Who episode, and it's like, shouldn't I feel like we need to be like in therapy? Like, why are we dealing with
Yeah.
monsters in a kid's closet? Like, I yeah.
Yeah. This moment particularly, I think, is, like I said, one of the most horrifying, if not the most horrifying scene in Doctor Who, because to have the trauma of not knowing you were pregnant and thinking you were all on all of these adventures and then waking up to like giving birth in this like claustrophobic capsule, to having, spending only a little bit of time with your baby and then having that baby taken away forcibly from you, and then to think you have your baby back and you're going to have this life with her and your husband, only for the baby not only to be like, it's the fact that she thought she had her baby and literally her baby melted in her arms. Like that, I can't even imagine the trauma that causes. And it is a really sore low point of the series and the show that it never explores Amy's grief. I think there was a lot of room to do that. I think there
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of ways to go about it without making it the darkest, most emotionally taxing episodes. The way it's handled after this is just so like nonchalant when it's so traumatic. And I would argue that like Amy Pond has the worst like trajectory as a companion. Like, because at least with Rose, as much as I hate that man, she at least has Tintu and she has Jackie and she has Mickey. Well, he, for a period of time, she has Mickey.
For a little bit.
Yeah, and she has Pete too. Like, she has that. And yes, Donna lost her memories initially, but she got them back eventually. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, Martha deserved better, but like, she still had her life. She married Mickey. She created this whole life for herself. But Amy, like, she has this trauma of a little girl and being like told she's crazy and she's insane her entire life. And then the doctor comes back to get her. And then it's this whole thing and coming of age and having this growth and getting married. And then it's, she doesn't even get to enjoy being pregnant or having all of these moments. And then her baby is taken. And then she thinks she has her baby. And then her baby is taken again and melted into goo. And then she never sees that baby again. She never gets to raise her child. And then I do like where her and Rory end up at the end of their tenure on the show in the future in series 7. But to me, like, she really had such a traumatic experience as a companion. Just the thought of the loss of a baby to me is so much more monumental than a lot of other things companions went through. That's just kind of how I feel about it.
No, I completely agree. I think this is like every woman's, every mother's worst nightmare
Mm-hmm.
is having your baby just taken from you right after giving birth. That is horrifying. And I think this issue really speaks to the importance of having women in the writers room, having women
Yes.
involved in the creation and writing process, because if a woman was involved in this episode and the rest of the season, maybe they would have had more examination about like how this
Mm-hmm.
has all impacted Amy. Like, it's just so weird that in the next couple of episodes we're acting like everything is normal and fine and hunky dory. Like, that is so weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I really think they just brush over Amy and her trauma way too quickly. I don't think it's handled well, because I think the people working on the show maybe didn't know how to write this, didn't know how to
Mm-hmm.
examine what she was going through. But I think if you had a woman in the room, she probably could have helped with that, because yeah, a lot of women have gone through loss and scary pregnancy situations, and you got to have women involved, especially when you're
Yeah,
writing about female experiences.
exactly. And I think it's something too where it's like, even if you yourself as a woman, like, you haven't personally experienced it, you most likely know someone who has experienced loss. So
Yeah.
there was like, it would have been nice to have that perspective and to see what would have come from that. It's just really disappointing and it makes me so sad for Amy. And this whole storyline just always gets to me for that reason. Like, it's every woman's worst nightmare, like,
Yeah.
whether you have kids or not.
Hmm. Another heartbreaking moment is when the doctor is running to like get to them
Mm,
to tell them
yeah.
what's going on, and he gets there and Worry is just like, yeah, we know.
The way Rory says
Horrifying.
the way Rory says that, and like, we don't even really see Amy in that shot, is just like takes the breath out of you. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's so sad. Okay, now I need to talk about Strax's death real quick, because I think
Okay.
what he says to Rory here, it says a lot. And really,
Mm.
okay, so first off, he tells Rory that he's nearly 12. Um
A full
Okay.
lifetime.
Yeah. And then Rory's like, you'll be okay, Strax. Like, you're a warrior. And then he says, I'm not a warrior. I'm a nurse. To Rory, who is a nurse, dressed up in this Roman warrior guard outfit, whatever it's called. That watching that just hit me last night because look at Rory, look at what he's been turned into. He's a nurse, and yet he has just had to like turn into this warrior to get
Yeah.
his wife and daughter back and then have his daughter taken away again. Like, oh my gosh, it's the Martha Jones effect.
It is the Martha Jones effect. It is. We need to coin that term and trademark it.
Trademarked.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you pointed that out. And just a quick, like, little Strax mention earlier in the episode. I always laugh when he offers to feed the baby. He's like, "Guys, I got this. I'm a nurse. I have all this lactic, whatever he says it is." It's just really funny the way he
It's
goes
so
about it.
funny. Yeah, he's like offended that they won't take him up on his offer.
Yeah. Okay. When Eleven is running to Amy and Rory, River is speaking. And I wrote down this whole poem. Can I read it all?
Thank goodness. I was hoping you would.
Okay. Because I've been thinking about this on a loop for the past day. She says, demons run when a good man goes to war. Night will fall and drown the sun when a good man goes to war. Friendship dies and true love lies. Night will fall and the dark will rise when a good man goes to war. Demons run, but count the cost. The battle's won, but the child is lost.
Ugh. Bars.
Bars right there. This episode is full of so many bars.
It is. The writing is so good here. Like, besides like the things we've talked about that we don't like, but Moffat really put his whole Moffat into this. Okay, Lorna's death. Even though I don't really care about her, I do think seeing the doctor talk to her here is really sweet. The way he's like, yeah, of course I remember you. We ran, didn't we? And it's like he doesn't remember her. Maybe he hasn't even met her yet. That's what I always like to think, is that he at this point he has not met this woman.
I like that.
Yeah, but what do you think about this scene?
It's so sweet to see the doctor's like just whole countenance shift when he sees that she's taken a shot to the heart and that she's dying. And when he says they're always brave right as she dies.
No, that kills
me. It's so sad because it's true. Like every time someone dies on behalf of the doctor, it's always because they were brave.
Mm-hmm. You just know. It's like that Journey's End montage of all the side characters that have died. You see all that, and you see all the companions. When he says that, it's heartbreaking.
It really is. Okay, so Amy, oh my gosh, first off, Karen Gillan's acting in this entire episode, her and Arthur, Matt Smith too, but like those two specifically, Karen and Arthur, Karen especially, oh my gosh, like insane acting. And the way that she just says, so they took her anyway. All of this was for nothing. And then the next moment, like the doctor goes to try to hug her and she just flinches away from him. And I'm like, girl, as you should.
Yeah,
I would too. What does Jenny say? But Amy, it's not his fault. Yes, it literally is.
It literally, like, located. Like, Jenny was just trying to be nice. She was trying to help.
No, she was.
Yeah, we know. It was literally his fault. It's so sad. It's so heartbreaking for Amy here. And we also, the doctor realizes that their baby is the little girl from Impossible Astronaut Day of the Moon.
Yeah.
And he says something that's like, it's already too late to stop what they're going to do to her because it's already happened, because they've already seen it.
Yeah, and then Fastra it's just like, so what, you're gonna give up? And he's like, don't you think I should, or sometimes should? And then we just hear that vortex manipulator
coming in like a burst of lightning.
And go ahead, say the line he says to her.
She says, "How goes the day, soldier?"
And he says, "Where the hell have you been?
Every time I've been there for you.
Where were you today?" The way he says that literally also imprinted on my mind.
And yeah, like I would be upset too because he has always showed up, whether she's carving messages into boxes or psychic paper or on the scale on the face of the oldest mountain in the universe. He always shows up. And this was the one time he asked her to be there. And of course, it's not her fault, but she couldn't be there.
Yeah. She couldn't have. And I love how she says, I couldn't have prevented this. And he's like, yes, you could have. And she's like, so could you. And he's like, girl, what do you mean? And she says, this was exactly you. All of it. You make them so afraid. When you began all those years ago, sailing off to see the universe, did you ever think you'd become this? The man who can turn an army around at the mention of his name. Doctor, the word for healer and wise man. We get that word from you, you know. But if you carry on the way you are, what might that word come to mean? I love that she clocks his tea.
Yes, I love her here. Just like, let me just call you out real quickly. Like, let me just hammer the last nail in. It's so good. Yeah, and she's right. Like, it's so exciting in the beginning of the episode to see him, come so far, turn the whole army away without any blood dropped, spilled, whatever. But yeah, it's like we've come a long way, even just from Rose, just going on little adventures here and there. He's become too big. I mean, we had the whole Pandorica, the Atraxi, everything. And I love that finally someone called him out on it.
Me too. And I love that she continues telling him now they've taken a child, the child of your best friends, and they're going to turn her into a weapon just to bring you down. And all of this is in fear of you. There's no one else in the show that would have given him that radical honesty that he needed. He needed to be told that. And he needed to be told that by River, because he finds out, well, they all find out who she is right after she tells him all of this.
Also, her telling him all this, he does listen, and we will talk about it next season, but he does some stuff to, try and calm down a bit, try and change the perception, but we'll get to it.
We will get to it.
And then he asks her, for the 10 millionth time, who is she? And she says, I am telling you. And then we don't see it. We don't know what is really happening, but then we just see his reaction, him understanding who she is. And it is, what do you think of his reaction?
It's very 11. It's a very 11th Doctor reaction. How it's excitement, then worry, then fear because of who she is and who her parents are, and then happiness. And I love how they say hello. It's their first real hello.
Oh my gosh, I love the hello. No, it's so sweet. I love this whole moment. Just finally he knows, we've already talked about, he is already in love with her at this point. He's been in love with her, in my opinion. And now he just finally knows, who she is. She's the daughter of his best friends. And I just love him, turning back to look at Amy and Rory and being like, oh, and then being like, oh, but it's so good. I don't love that he just leaves everyone there and
that
goes
actually
to
makes me mad
and goes
because specifically for Amy, he doesn't say anything to her. He starts being giddy and smiling and then takes off. I would think of If I was in her shoes, I would be so upset. Like, okay, two things. One, I don't blame her for holding River at gunpoint at all because, like, that makes sense. But can we also talk about how this is the second time she's held her own child at gunpoint?
Oh, poor River. The trauma. Yeah, but I love when just the sequence of River being like, Amy, you have to calm down, and Amy just grabbing that guy. It's so funny.
I know, because I'm like, River, if someone told you to calm down, you do that exact same thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a family thing. But the shot of Amy's face while she watches the TARDIS dematerialize is heartbreaking. Like, you just see every
Yeah.
version of Amy that's been left behind.
Yeah. And then River tells them to read the prayer leaf because at first they're like, "Girl, it's got the caught Scalafrian. We can't read it." And she's like, "No. Look at the prayer leaf." And she says the words, "The only water in the forest is the river." And I do have to say, Moffat ate with that.
He did. We knew it was going to be something, and I just love
Yeah.
like getting it all to click together. And then she finally says it. I'm Melody. I'm your daughter. And the reveal of the century, the gag of the century.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how many times I watch this, chills, and it is
Yeah.
crazy. Now, I was spoiled about on this before I saw this episode. I knew who River was because I was binging the show back in 2014 it was, and I had saw online who she was, so I already knew. And you know what, it's still a gag, it's still a good scene. But
It
what
is.
did you know here? Were you spoiled? What was that like for you?
Okay, it's a little muddy, unfortunately. I don't have clear memory, but what I do know for sure is one, and I think I mentioned this in Silence in the Library Forest of the Dead. I did spoil myself that River was the doctor's wife because I was like, wait, like the whole name thing. I was like searching up the doctor's name, and then one of like the results was like, well, only like someone married to the doctor can know the doctor's name. And then it said, it was probably TARDIS Wiki, honestly, that said like River was his wife. So I knew who River was, but I do know that like the baby part of it, the Melody Pond, I hadn't connected that part. So even though I don't remember my full original reaction, I didn't like connect the two until the reveal.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, but what I love this moment, I love watching people react to this scene.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah, and what do you think of this, concept in general, the build up of the last like season and a half? Yeah, what do you think about this, that River is their daughter? That's crazy.
Okay, super crazy. And I know for some people it's polarizing, but for me, it's the perfect amount of camp. It's the perfect amount of Doctor Who. It's very Stephen Moffat. That man loves the time traveler's wife trope to the nth degree.
The time traveler's wife, Stephen. Put it down.
Like, we've gotten this since Girl in the Fireplace. It's actually a problem at this point. This man also did the time traveler's wife, which I'm still upset got erased from streaming, so I can never watch it.
It did. Oh. I mean, it's probably for the best.
No one liked it but you.
Yeah, I was like the only one that liked it. And it was bad. It was not good, but I loved it. It didn't get canceled.
Okay, but no, I do love it. And at previous points in my life, I was like, is it a little icky that like he knew baby Melody and then he married River? But then I was like, not really, because he really didn't know baby Melody for that long whatsoever. It's more weird that he kissed his mother-in-law and his wife.
Yeah. Also, like, he met River before he even met Amy, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like, Amy Pond's daughter was having an adventure with David Tennant. Like, that's only in Doctor Who could you do this. And it's what makes it's what makes the show
Mm-hmm.
so magical, so timey-wimey, so crazy. It's why we love it. Is it a little weird if you think about it a little too hard? Yeah, but it's
You gotta
timey-wimey.
embrace it. It's
Yeah.
timey-wimey, it's Doctor Who, it's Stephen Moffat, and at the end of the day, like, I personally embrace it, and I think especially because we're introduced to her with the 10th Doctor, like, this
Mm,
wasn't just, like, she popped up during Matt Smith's tenure, it's like, no, we've been invested in her story for so long, wanting to know the ins and outs, and having it carried through, for me, makes it that much more engaging, and that's what makes me love it, is how drawn out it has been and how timey-wimey it is. And the thing I love about this storyline is that you can watch the episodes in order, or you can watch them in the River Song order, like based on her specific timeline. There's always new things to notice and find out, and that's what I enjoy. Like, to
mm-hmm.
me, this concept personally, like, it doesn't get old. And a lot of that has to do with Alex Kingston herself, who is just magical in this role.
She brings magic into every scene. Like the way she just shows up at the end of this episode. Also, like her best look, she's never looked better.
Mm-hmm.
I love that like green dress. I don't know what it is. I love it. But she just has this presence on camera that is so captivating. You just
Yeah.
can't look away. She is so talented. She was born to play River Song.
She was. That is her role. The role was basically made for her. But
Mm-hmm.
to, like, capture all of my feelings about this episode, it's so good, so cinematic to me, emotional, painful, all of the things. It's insane. I love the build up. I think everything in this episode, as painful as it is, and even though there's some like lower, like some sore points for us, like, I really do think this is like a high quality Doctor Who episode that is just such peak Who. It's more what comes after this that is a letdown, but we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about that when we get there. What about you? Like, what are your like overall thoughts?
Yeah, on its own, this episode, 10 out of 10, banger, one of my personal favorites, one I always look forward to rewatching. But yeah, I have the problems I have with this storyline have more to do with what's to come
Same.
and the lack of what's to come, the lack of
Mm-hmm.
any time or attention spent on Amy and her, just anything about her really, and what she went through, just totally ignored, brushed over, never spoken about again. But yeah, but on its own, this episode, I love it. It's so good. The reveal gags me every time. But with all that said, what is the heart of the episode?
The heart of the episode is don't make a baby on the TARDIS.
Don't make a baby. Um, oh, there's an old joke about this.
Oh, wait, really?
No, like I think the classic. I read this. I don't know if this is true, but that the like some writer in Classic Who made some comment about like no hinky pinky on the TARDIS or something like that. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there was a mention,
Yeah,
I think. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. So it just made me think about that. But what else? Trying to think about mine right on the spot. Hey, listen to a woman's intuition. Listen to a mother's
Yeah,
intuition. If she tells you she's worried her baby will have a time head.
exactly. Because she's probably
Yeah.
correct, as Amy
Yeah.
was.
Mm-hmm. Who's the star of the show?
You know, I want to give it to multiple people, actually. Am I allowed
There's a
to
lot
do
of stars
that?
of the show. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I feel like this is just like gonna be a rolling credits scene. So Strax, Fastra, Ginny, the baby who played Melody Pond because she's so sweet and so cute.
So
Um
cute. Also, it was twins.
that makes sense. I feel
Yeah.
like they typically do that in shows. So shout
Yeah.
out to them. Shout out to I liked Orium. I don't know if I like him enough to shout him out right here.
I like him in later appearances.
Same.
He doesn't really do anything for me here, but
same. And also shout out, you know what? I'll just give it shout out to Amy Pond. She kind of deserves the shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Amy. You know what? I'm psyching all your shout outs because, yeah, I mean, and you took them all, so.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Like, those are all the stars of the show. Thank you for being here. Come back soon.
Yeah.
Do we have any reviews from the past?
Yes, we do. I have some to share from the original discussion thread, and these are more comments than true reviews, but this was like immediate reaction from 14 years ago. So this user deleted their account, so shout out to whoever you are, but they wrote on the Doctor Who subreddit that I loved how we didn't see the Doctor straight away, but instead found out that he went in the TARDIS to gather different people who owe him a debt, and he's using up all their debts in one go to rescue Amy. It was unsettling. I'd hate to be an enemy of the Doctor, but I kind of like it when the Doctor gets angry and shows what he's capable of. The fury of the Time Lord. I just like seeing the dark side of him.
I love Dark 11 especially. There's something about it.
Something about it. And this other comment also from a deleted account. I don't know what's up with that, but from the Doctor Who subreddit, they just said, this just makes River's death a whole lot sadder for me.
Yeah, I try not to think about that at this point because...
Same, I can't.
And the fact that, like, going forward, he knows, like, where she ends up and, like, that she's Amy's daughter and she knows how she dies. That's another thing that's crazy. I just, wow.
And then this last review is from IMDb by the user 1033man, and this was written on June 4th, 2011. And I'm just going to read a few snippets from this review. Just know that this review was rated 10 out of 10.
Nice.
So he says that, yes, Moffat threw everything and the kitchen sink in. Cybermen, Centaurans, Silurians, the space flight-enabled Spitfires, and the eternally wonderful Miss Kingston as River Song. He also created memorable new characters. As for Madame Vastra and Ginny, there's a spin-off series waiting for them if anyone has the smarts to commission it. Yeah.
And why didn't we? Didn't we?
He continues by saying, with regard to the regulars, this series so far has belonged to Arthur Darvill, who has taken Rory from comic relief to being the heart and soul of the program. I'm laughing because of this next line. I'm sure Noel Clarke wishes he could have been so fortunate.
Yeah, he probably does.
And then he ends the review by saying, if the title of the next episode doesn't bring you back in the autumn, nothing will.
And with that said, perfect segue. We will be back next week with Let's Kill Hitler.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at atimewimeypod.
And email us your thoughts, your questions, your comments. We'll read it out on an episode to timewimeypod@gmail.com. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.